happening, everybody? Ask Jesse answer time. As always, some amazing questions. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to ask. And let's jump right in. Number one comes to us from Jody Barrett Franklin. And Jody asks, looking for a new direction to take with work and life. Want to find my passion and embrace it. What's the best way to just get going? I would say in a situation like that, Jody, the best thing to do is hire a coach, hire a mentor, somebody to work with, somebody to guide you, somebody who has been there and helped other people figure those things out. And the reason I say that is because you have a couple approaches with it. One, the first approach, which is the approach fortunately most people take, is they will do the head banging against the wall approach, which is, have you ever seen a fly outside of a sliding glass door or a window and it keeps flying into it, banging into it, trying to get in? Does the fly ever get in? No. Unless something changes, like the door opens, the window opens, or the fly changes its strategy and goes a different route, it will never get in that way. Oftentimes, people will take this approach in trying to embark on something new, discover their passion, whatever it is, they'll become the fly, and the new job, the new path becomes the sliding glass door. They can see vaguely where they want to go. They know they want to be on the other side of that, but they keep banging their head into the wall and they never try a new strategy. You can go it alone and figure it out and study and dive into and ask and do all those things. And you could eventually get there. But the thing is the trade-off is your time, your quality of life. And I'm always a big fan of getting people to now as quickly as possible, which is why I'd really encourage you to look into working with a coach, a mentor, somebody who's been there before, who's guided people through it, who's figured out the steps that it needs to take and can get you to that place as efficiently as possible. It's just your time, your life is too valuable. And again, if I could ask you, would you rather be starting that new career, living out your passion and embracing it now, or 6 weeks from now versus 6 months or 6 years from now? Which would you rather choose? I'd imagine since you asked the question, you'd rather do it now or in 6 weeks versus 6 months or 6 years, whichever ends up about to be. Or some people, it's never. And that's really where that value comes in. So the fastest and quickest way to do it would be look into working with a coach, a mentor, somebody who can help get you from point A to point Z as fast as possible. You can figure out which steps between B and Y you can skip and circumvent the other ones, so you're only hitting the essential steps to get you right there. Okay? Great question. Number two comes to us from Deborah Mosley. And Deborah asks, how to let go of the anger. She put LOL of the anger. So you don't usually see laugh out loud with anger. That's an interesting word choice. I have since my mommy left me. The family did so many disrespectful things, and I'm trying to learn who I am being alone. What I would suggest, Deborah, is two things. One, I would challenge the anger, and I would say it's more of not so much anger you have to let go of, but a victim, being the victim you have to let go of. And I don't know you, I don't know what the circumstances in, that's just going to be my gut response. And the reason is you put two interesting phrases in here, both of which to me suggest more of a victim emotion as opposed to an anger emotion. I don't hear anger when anger is preceded with LOL. What I do hear is somebody who feels abandoned by their mother, by the family that was supposed to be there for them. And as a result of that, that's left her in an emotional discombobulation, so to speak. So much so to the point that she isn't completely certain of her emotions or what she wants to do or which emotions she wants to feel. And so she's trying to kind of balance them out, but at the same time, she feels like she's wronged and that, I don't know, maybe somebody has to pay because they shouldn't get away with what they did. Again, this is just my off-the-hip gut assumption here, Deborah, but I would say I would look at not so much the emotion of anger, but the emotion of more of being a victim and being abandoned, too. That's a big one, being abandoned. And what I would look at with those is look at them as not so much negative emotions, but as calls to action. Meaning, what do they represent? What are they saying? What's the deeper thing in there? If there's a feeling of being a victim, what call to action might that prompt in you? Meaning, what action can you take to stop feeling that way? How can you do something now to start shifting the way your emotions are? The same thing if there's an emotion of being abandoned. What action could you begin taking now that would, dropped my little camera. That would lead you to not having that feeling so much of being abandoned. You know, maybe it would be reaching out to some friends, connecting with friends that you haven't spoken with in a while, connecting with the family that you don't feel has wronged you, and looking at maybe joining some groups that have been in similar situations, so you can surround yourself with people who have been there and have gone through that. Those would be my suggestions to you, and I think you'll find that if you implement this, you'll get a good emotional clearing, and it will give you some space to start to really heal and move forward. All right? Awesome questions this week. Thank you, everybody, for asking. I hope you all found value in this. Please leave a comment below. I love reading what your thoughts are of it, what your feedback is. And as always, if you found value in it, please share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, a stranger on the street, whoever you think would also find value in it. And I appreciate you all watching, and I appreciate you all taking the time to ask questions, and we will see you again next week. Take care. Have an awesome week. Bye-bye.